كيف حالك everybody on the internet? Today we shall discuss this disturbing trend in the Western leftist circles that they are simping for the United States empire and NATO, as we have seen recently with Vosh, Dylan Burns, and Destiny, with Vosh calling the US Army the they-them army, or that NATO is based. NATO, the military alliance formed by the United States specifically for the cause of fighting communism. NATO, whose military organization was first founded by Nazis, actual Nazis actually, mind you, not neo-Nazis, like Hans Speidel, member of the SS, and Wehrmacht commander and and NATO chairman, Adolf Bruno Heisinger.
But you know what? I am pro-NATO now. I am. I legitimately feel like NATO and its existence really doesn't do anything to materially suppress the cause for socialists worldwide today. And I feel like the insistence on hyper-fixating on NATO from the perspective of a leftist has been a psyop in favor of the Russian government. I really do. I genuinely believe that, and I don't care anymore. All the imperialist action that NATO has taken is something that could have effortlessly been done by other just European or American military.
NATO, the military organization who had a secret neo-Nazi army that killed leftists in the Cold War, and also supported the Grey Wolves, another right-wing military in Turkey, to kill leftists. So this is the NATO that Vosh says that is based. Moving on, we also have Dylan Burns advocating for the US empire to stay in Afghanistan indefinitely to save the woman. Or he also had a guest that advocated to the invasion of Iran to free the gays. So these Western educated leftists actually think the United States hates Iran because it's a theocratic state that is anti-LGBTQ. But correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't one of our best friends in the Middle East a theocratic state that has gays as well? Isn't Saudi Arabia one of our best friends? So these educated people can't figure out that the United States is lying and is using that as a pretext to invasion. For it doesn't matter if Iran has a gay or a democratically elected government. For last time I checked, we overthrew a democratic and secular government run by Mohammad Mossadegh. Why? Because he didn't toe the line. He was too independent. And that is the main reason why we hate the Islamic State of Iran, or the Islamic Republic of Iran. Because it doesn't bow down to us and Israel, like we are the lords and savior of the Middle East. And why should it? No, it is right. Iran is a native of the Middle East. Why should it bow down to a foreign army, whether it is us or Israel? But these Western leftists are so fooled by some few propagandas and rainbow flag waving people, because the U.S. empire waves some rainbow flag and makes some U.S. Army they-them commercials. They're so easily fooled by that.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms. Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age.
It's sad, really. I'm pretty sure they'll be fooled too with the new ad showing up if you join the military, you get superpowers. Pretty sure some people would go into the army and where's my superpowers right now? So tell me, what differentiates these wokeists that's simping for the empire from the conservatives that are moved to go to war because of some patriotic, jingoistic bullshit? These wokeists actually reminds me of the Jesuits of the old European empires, because they believed the lie of the old European empires, that they believed that colonialism and conquest and all these other things and slavery were good things because it will give them the opportunity to save the soul of the indigenous people or the black slaves, because these people actually used to go into slave ships and baptized the black slaves. As we can see some of these pictures over here, man, it's so sanctimonious. It's like they're actually believing they're doing good. They're saving the black man's soul. I mean, this guy's in chains, man. Like, free him, do something. Teach him how to read. Teach him that he's human, just like the white man. Teach him something else, man. I mean, do something else for him. And we all know that it was not Christianity that saved the black man or the slave or any of the indigenous people from colonialism. No. The same today with the sanctimonious servants of the U.S. empire, like Vosh and etc. These people actually think they were doing a good thing, a favor for people, by bringing in the Western empire to them, by invasion or otherwise, or by coup d'etat or otherwise. Check this out. Murdered your whole family, ma'am. But here's on the good side. You can learn about feminism and sexual liberation. Don't you know you can be a girl boss by sleeping with multiple men? Oh, and sorry you burnt your face up, little girl. But here's the good news. Gender is a spectrum, so maybe you are a boy, huh? Yeah, you don't know. Bear me with this nonsense, man. So like I said before, these wokists are not only gender confused, but politically they're confused as well. For they actually think that the United States empire is their friend, that it is promoted, the elites of the United States empire and NATO and Europe, they're actually their friend, and they're promoting their agenda, their humanistic agenda, and the people's agenda. Let me tell you a secret, man. The United States empire is nobody's friend.
The army ain't nobody's friend, man. We know we've been in. I don't know about you, but I'm going to stick it out with David.
It uses you. It uses neo-Nazi, uses Islamic rebels, uses anybody it can get his hand with to further its agenda. And it discards them when it's done. So, it's to only lure you to sleep with all this propaganda bullshit. For at the end of the day, the United States empire, or NATO, or whatever you want to call it, its only friends is capitalism, which means the big banks, the corporation, those are his only friends. The people friends, whether they be white, black, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, whatever, you know, neo-Nazis, woke, gays, whatever, just using them to further its agenda. These people, these wokers, need to be excised from the leftist community. For they seem to be more interested in to get into arguments, sanctimonious arguments about who's holier than thou, and purity tests, and bashing J.K. Rowling's, than to do critical thinking and coming up with new ideas. Moreover, how dare they criticize other leftists as tankies and Nazbol and etc. While some of them are gargling Uncle Sam's balls in their mouth. Some of them, like Vosh, I really think he gets a boner every time he talks about the Western Empire, and the US Empire, and NATO, and etc. Which is fine, but you know, don't go around criticizing Luna Oy for being part of the North Vietnamese and Ho Chi Minh.